Didn't.
Here we are, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're running a couple of minutes behind. We had a bit of a technical error coming into seeing everybody, but here we are. Thank you for your patience.
It happens. You know.
We had a bit of a technical glitch coming in, but we're on now. So
it has something to do with Mercury. That was a retrograde, and now we're moving into a full moon. And, you know, I've been off the last couple of days. I don't know if you can relate to that, Cher, but
100%. It's all to do with retrograde at the moment, and certainly that's what happened before we came in on live. So here we are, finally.
Yay, we made it. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you too, my darling. And we were just saying that we're just going to come together as us girls and have a bit of a cup of tea. Please let us know where you're from and who's watching, and we'd love to say hi to you, because I know we're reaching around the world at the moment as we do. We're international, aren't we, Loz?
We are international friends.
And you have to excuse me, as an Aussie, I tend to shorten Lauren's name, but it is Lauren Applewood, but I do have a nickname for her, and it is Lozzie, so I do fall into that. Yeah, we just want to say that. Hey, Jonelle, thank you.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Hi, Jonelle. Good to see you. Hey, Monica. So awesome that you're joining us. Today we're talking about self-love and intentions. And before we get into that, which is such a exciting and fun topic, I believe, let's tell everyone a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so I'll start off there. This time it's my turn. I'm a psychic medium, Gothic Wiccan witch, and I've been able to connect with spirits since I was born. And yeah, I'm a Wicca witch, which means we harm none. And yeah, I work very energetically as well with my clients. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do. So yeah, over to you, Lauren. That's
absolutely. You know, this is what
a little bit of me. If you go onto my website, you'll find more. But that's just a little bit of me, because we want to get to discussing other stuff, don't we, Lozzie? So over to you, my friend.
Our website is ShareSlaterMedium.com. So please make sure to go over there and learn more about my awesome friend Cher. And you know, one reason why I like you is because you're so individualistic and fully in yourself as a Wiccan witch psychic medium. You're not afraid to say it. You live out and proud.
Yeah, I do, because often witchcraft is seen as to be something to be scared of, and it's actually not. It's more of our love of nature and the love of us, the love of our goddess, the moon, which is full at the moment, which we'll get on to, or it's full here in Australia. It's a snow moon, so we'll get on to talking about that a bit more. But basically, as a Wiccan witch, we actually harm none, which means we don't harm any people, we don't harm animals, we don't harm trees or nature. We absolutely come from the love of our heart. And I'm coming out because I want to spread that around the world, that we're not to be frightened of. And if there is any spells, and I just want to touch on this briefly because we might have to do another session on that. But the spells are only for ourselves, and they're more for affirmations that I use it for, and they're only for ourselves. They're not for anybody else. No, you don't have to be Wiccan to be a witch. I think Jonelle just asked a great question.
Wow, yes.
Yes, you do not. There's lots of witches out there that aren't Wiccan. So, no, you don't have to be Wiccan. It's just the way I was born into Wicca. So I'm a Wiccan witch. And no, so to answer that simply, no, you can be a witch without being Wiccan. Over to you, Lauren. Thank you, my darling, because you and I both work energetically. And
we do.
And that's why we've probably come together over a lot of reasons.
We do.
The tease, but yes.
Well, I would have to say that, you know, I don't call myself or consider myself a witch, But what I heard you say that I absolutely resonate with as an individual is our love of nature and our harming none. That's not just a Wiccan belief. It's a belief of, like, let's say, Buddhism as well. And I really relate to that because I feel the power of our earth, the power of our mother, to be able to provide for us, give us energy, give us nutrients, give us everything we need. And it's the respect of Earth, Mother Earth, that is ultimately so important. And it's one thing that you, as a witch, live very close to, the Earth. And I know a lot of other people can relate to that feeling. You know, they may not call themselves a witch, but they really feel connected to nature.
Yeah,
and grounding.
Absolute. That's where we are. It's the absolute connection to Mother Earth, and it's like it's moving with the earth, not on it. That's how I live, and that's how I am with nature and with the earth. And that's a good question, Janelle. Yes, you can be a good energy witch, and yes, and more than likely, Janelle, you are a witch.
Janelle happens to be a good friend of mine, and I could tell you, absolutely.
Come on to my website, Janelle. You and I need to have a chat.
Yeah, totally.
Let's go there because I'm running some circles and classes. So yes, definitely come over to my website and have a little look because I'd love to see you. I know I can psychically pick you up now, but and feel your energy. So definitely.
Yeah. You know, I thought about, even pulling cards for some people tonight. We'll see how it goes. But before we move on, I just want to mention, Cher talked about who she is. I personally am an intuitive energy medicine specialist or practitioner. And what that means is I channel source energy into my hands and then direct it at the individual clients that I'm working with. And that provides them the healing energies from the universe. And also, I'm an essential oil specialist. So again, I just really believe in our mother's ability to provide us everything that we need to, for cures, for treatment, anything. And so I'm really passionate about essential oils. So I offer consultations for individuals. And lastly, I am an intuitive psychic medium, so I do offer intuitive readings as well. And my website is laurenapplewood.com. You can find out more information there and use my contact form to send me any questions or to book a service with me.
Yep. And she is awesome at what she does. Shall we talk about the full moon at the moment? Because here in Australia, the goddess is in full. So I just want to say a bit about that because it is it's a big thing for us witches, and we do feel it. And even not for being witches, but you actually feel it energetically. Like Lauren and I were saying a little bit before we came on air, was that we're both feeling a bit wobbly and a bit emotional, and when the goddess is in full or the moon is in full, our emotions and everything are highly energized up. So I'll just talk about this February full snow moon. It actually peaks today here in Australia. The energy of the goddess is felt usually a week before and a week after. So no wonder Lauren and I have been feeling it. So take advantage of her powerful energy and pull divine guidance that you need. The full moon is in Virgo today and is also linked with Saturn and Uranus. Here in Australia, it's to do with making or dealing with the difficult changes. The blessings of the goddess and the full moon is asking us to make positive changes, which will be easier to implement. It's an ideal for making those changes that are long overdue. Don't we know that, Lauren?
Oh my gosh, do we ever?
And therefore freeing you of the burdens and the baggage that no longer serve you. This full moon is also about our home, our family, and intimate relationships, blessed be, and bringing this into sharper focus, highlighting these for the next 2 weeks. Wow. Opposing forces such as our work and our home, or what you need versus what you want. Creating that inner tension and external pressure. Goodness, we've been feeling that this week, Lauren.
Pressure. Mm-hmm.
God, getting that into balance. The lunar qualities of emotions and instincts reach their peak in the full moon. So you have increased emotional strength and intuition to overcome all those relationship challenges. And that includes the relationship with ourselves, isn't it, Lauren?
Yeah, and boy, the relationship with ourselves is so important. Do we love ourselves? What are we telling ourselves on a daily basis? And it kind of brings us segue into our talk about what we wanted to talk about tonight. And actually, so the full moon is more about releasing, celebrating, releasing, letting go.
Yes.
Right?
Releasing what no longer serves you. That's what the goddess is. I mean, for us witches that practice our craft, it's not unusual for us to go out into the goddess and the moon, full moon, and stand in her full light, full illuminating light, and release what no longer serves us. And if that means getting back to nature on that, then so do it. Hi, Ginger, how are you going? Lovely for you to join us. So it's a beautiful thing, and it not only illuminates your body standing out in the full moon, but it actually energizes you as well once you release what no longer serves you. And it is about the intention. It's about the intention as well, the intention to release that.
Mm-hmm, the intention, yeah. And I was also thinking about how, just wanted to reiterate that the new moon cycle, when we hit the new moon, is where we really work on setting our intentions.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because on the new moon, you actually set your intention. And by the full moon, it's done. Your work is done. So that's already done. So then under a full moon, our goddess, we release all what no longer serves you. So those damn heavy bags that we carry around that no longer serve us, and put them down, for heaven's sake. We don't need that in our realm.
Right.
So that's what we do on a goddess when the goddess is full. And here in Australia, it's tonight or today, and I think it's full for you tomorrow, Lauren. So
it is. Yeah, we're a little bit behind.
I want you to get out there in there.
Oh yeah. You can still feel the energy, and you and I have had. At least I know I have a lot to release today and tomorrow. A lot to release. And, I want to explain one way that I find incredibly helpful to release emotions and release old thought patterns is Qigong. So I don't know if you've heard what that is, Cher. But it is a way, ancient Chinese, Asian practice of moving energy through and around your body, which helps open up channels, clears stagnant energy from your organ systems. And it's just such a beautiful, slow practice in practicing feeling the energy, but not only that, but moving it around the body, down into the earth. And I would not be where I am today without my Qigong practice. I would not feel as light and as, freed from certain emotional patterns. Now, that's not to say I don't go through the full gamut of emotion on a regular basis. I mean, if you're like me, you're up and down and up and down and up and down throughout the day even. And it's like a roller coaster, and it's always fun to see what happens, right?
But we do go, and I want to say hi to all the new people that are just coming in and starting to follow us. So, hey, Michaela. Hey, Becky. Thank you for coming in. And thanks, Ginger, once again for joining us. Layla, welcome in. Thank you. So, yeah, we do flow a bit like how the moon cycles, really, because if you think about the full moon is like a full illumination. And then in the new moon, we actually go back to our darkness. So we actually rebirth each moon. We're rebirthing. So, and that's what we go through. We go through that transformation, and we do go the up and the down roller coaster. Oh, Lauren, did you get that message, my love?
I did.
Qigong? Yes.
I did. I responded to John L there because I know a lot of people don't know how to spell it, or they don't, they're like, what is that? So I want everyone to be able to look up that practice. And, it is something that I talk about in my readings and in my sessions with people, because I will always recommend to you what has worked for me. And I have been in some really, really dark places in my life and have done a lot of work on myself through a lot of different modalities. And I have to say I've come out the other end better for what I have spent the time and money doing. And I just love to be able to share that knowledge with our friends.
I think that's a great point you raised, Lauren, because I feel the same as you. This is another reason that we're so come together, because we are so free to be able to talk about what we've been through, and we both have been through, been in some dark times. And from those dark times that we've been in, because we're psychics and mediums, and Lauren's a healer, what Lauren's magic is, and it doesn't mean that we're also on this human plane, do roll through those different emotions, and we do get the ups and we get the downs, and we do cry, and so there is our magic, because when we're down in that darkness, we see that glimmer of light, and we work our way on how to get up there, a transformation of how to get back up to that light and stand in the light and be bubbly the way we are today, and that makes us human, and that's what we both have so uniquely, and so I feel so beautifully how we work, and we do share that with our clients and people that come, because we come from our open hearts, and it's the unconditional love space that we come from, and that's what we love. We love what we do, and we're so passionate about our work. Well, we don't even classify it as work, do we, Lauren? It's like our absolute. No. We're just passionate. We just want to share ourselves to the world, and share what we know and what has worked for us, and share that with whoever we meet and whoever we come in contact with, and whoever comes into our circle, really. And that's the blessing for us. It uplifts you as a client or who we meet, but it also uplifts us incredibly. So we're incredibly blessed to have what we have.
So blessed. And thank you, Debbie, for following us and joining in tonight. And thank you, Cher, for sharing. I mean, again, today is about intentions and what that is. But the reason we're talking about this is because we want, as individuals, as myself, to be clear-headed, clear in understanding what our intentions are in life. Where are we going? What do we want to do? How are we moving through life every day? Are we choosing to better ourselves? Are we staying at the same level, not changing? What choices are you making in your life? And when you're clear on what your intentions are, you can better make those choices and decisions, and you also kind of know what you may want to avoid. Okay, so like if I made the intention, like I'm going to have a healthy diet and not eat sugar. Okay, so then I know to avoid sugar, right?
Right.
I mean, I can just give a super simple example like that, but we want to know what our viewers here think about intentions, and we want to know what it is you want to do in your life. You've heard what we're passionate about. We want to know what you're passionate about and what you are doing to follow up on those intentions.
I'm going to take up those intentions, because as a witch, you know, we set our intentions, and we set them always on a new moon, and we manifest everything, really, what we want in life. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you. Hey,
Karen. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen, for dropping in. So as a witch, I do this all the time, and I teach this to my clients and open-heartedly to anybody, because it's all energy. Intention is it's all energy. So whatever you want actually wants you. And once you put that intention or manifest that, then it truly does come to fruition in divine timing. Everything happens in divine timing, and only if it's for your highest good. Because no matter what the intention is that you're setting out to do, it must be for your highest good. Otherwise, believe me, I've set some manifestations and I've set some intentions, and they haven't come. And let me tell you, it's because it wasn't in my highest good. So therefore, it wasn't delivered to me. But there was a lesson in that as well, as to why I didn't get that or have that in my world. And let me tell you, there was some intentions that I set some time ago that took about 20 years to come to fruition. But it was all divine.
Right? Yes.
All in divine timing.
Yeah, we have to trust that, you know, if my intention is to find a husband or to find my lifelong partner, not to necessarily expect, like, oh, right away, the next day, the next guy that I see at the grocery store is my future. Oh, there he is. I intended it, so there he is, right? No, because the universe has a plan. Not only the universe, but you have a plan. You as a soul decided your plan before you were born. And it's about being able to get quiet enough to hear those whispers. You know, are you at a job that you just kind of dread every day going to? I know I was. And in fact, it got to the point where I would even cry going into work. Like, oh, this is so wrong. You know, I'm doing financial management type work, numbers every day. And I am not a numbers person. In fact, I have what's called numbers dyslexia. So, and that's all I did was copy numbers, and I would get all of them wrong. I'd have to revise, and it's just a part of who I am. Finally, I had to take a long, hard look at how was I feeling inside putting myself into this job every day. And finally, the emotions is what brought to my attention, you may have to change intentions in life, Lauren. Like, be clear on what you want. What is it that you want? Do you want to go to this job every day doing financial management? No, I was not fulfilled. I was not happy. So I set my intention to not only heal myself, but, you know, to work really hard. And I've come out the other end now doing as a profession, as a job, and getting paid for what I love to do and what I have a natural talent at. It's the coolest thing, Sharon. I know you kind of went through a similar situation recently.
Look, honestly, Lauren and I are like twins sometimes. It's a bit scary. But yes, I went through a similar situation. I was in a job that I'd held for some time that also wasn't in my best interest to stay there, and it wasn't empowering me, and I wasn't following my path, which is what I'm doing now. So I actually left that workplace, and that was giving myself self-love, because it was making me sick going into an environment and into a workplace that really wasn't in my highest good to be there. And Spirit showed me the way and basically kicked me up the bum, which I'm good at, and the universe did. And I left that workplace now 4 weeks ago, and it's been the most life-changing, amazing journey of my life, because now I'm focusing on my beautiful, blissful heart And for me, there is nothing higher, and I'm just so humbled and honoured to be able to do what I do. It's just amazing, and I'm just so very blessed.
It doesn't necessarily come easily. And that's important to know, is that you're going to have to put in some work on yourself. And that's tough to recognize, oh, I haven't been making the best decisions for myself. Whoa. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
You know, I think back to my late teens, early 20s, and I was way down the wrong path and was constantly being told through spirit, stop now. Get off this track. It's not heading anywhere good, Lauren. And I had to deal with all sorts of emotions, self-pity, you know, why me, you know, and the key was turning that intention around from, well, life sucks. I was dealt a crappy card, and so therefore, no wonder I act the way I act. And when you finally realize something you're doing is unhealthy for yourself, then the work really begins. It really does. And where we can at least start with that work is where and how we start our intentions.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And we've all been in that position, Lauren, haven't we, really? Even, you know, me, I've been in that position where, you know, the same thing, really. Layla keeps asking a question. Hey, Layla, you're asking a question. What was it? Can you see that question, Lauren?
I can't. I'm sorry. No, I do not see a question.
She's saying, do you take questions? Yes, we take questions.
No. Of course. We love to interact with you guys. That's part of the reason we're on live, because it's not just to talk about ourselves.
No. You may ask a question, absolutely. And we love that. So, yes, you may ask a question and we will answer it the best we can.
Yes. I mean, everyone has value, and we want to hear from you because what you say may help someone else as well.
I think
so. I just want to mention that, just to share a little bit about intentions and give an example of kind of how I went off path and then how to get back on path. So one of the intentions that I set for myself about a year, maybe 9 months ago or so, was that I was going to take care of me first. And that in and of itself was quite a feat to say, I'm worthy enough to put myself and my development first ahead of everyone else in my life. And I'm not married. I don't have kids. I have parents, one that I help, take care of. And so I was getting to a point where I was just stressed all the time, tapped out, irritable, emotionally unstable, just a mess. And then that was spilling out into my relationships, right? So, you know, I decided to put myself first. And what that looks like for me, you know, the last 9 months it means to put the development of my abilities first, my psychic abilities. Because once I started to realize that I was hearing, seeing, getting spirit and messages, it was important for me to learn how to develop that and become stronger in my ability, because not only do I have the ability to advance, but everyone has the ability to advance in their own innate psychic abilities, because we are all born with these abilities. So for, I don't know, I'd say like 4 months ago or something, I was doing really good. Every day I had decided my routine, my morning routine. I was sticking to it, a wake up time, you know, all sorts of things, a schedule basically of meditations and gaining more ability. And just as I was doing that, these guys happened to drop into my life, Cher. Why is it that a romantic interest takes you off your course, takes you off of your intentions?
Well, that's because you're not honoring your path, Lauren. That's because you're not self-loving. You're giving all your love over to that particular partner, and you forget about you, and you get a bit off course. So, which is okay, because there's a lesson in that as well. That if you're a bit off course with that particular partner, and you're handing all your love out, you're actually not putting any self-love back in. So that needs to come back into balance, and.
Right.
And you've got to bring that back into balance. Otherwise, it's going to be like this. And no relationship can be like that for too long. You've got to bring yourself back into balance. And so that's what self-love is all about. Stand in front of the mirror. You're worthy of unconditional love. You're giving out your unconditional love, then you're worthy of that as well. So it's just honoring yourself in that self-love.
Right. And, sometimes, at least actually for me all the time, I don't immediately recognize when I've gotten off path.
Yes.
It usually comes after a period of time that then more discomfort and more pain is created in my life. And I start to think, oh, I didn't feel this way 2 weeks ago. I didn't feel this way a month ago when I was focusing on myself, when I was putting myself first. And it's in that awareness of your own feelings, of your own physical body sensations, that you can then decide, do I like this path that I'm going down? Does it feel right? Does it resonate with me? And oh yeah, what about my original intention? That was to take care of me first. The behavior that I'm exhibiting is not reflecting that intention.
Yeah, because don't forget, the relationship that you have with yourself is the relationship that you're going to have with others. And that includes our partners, our children, our family, everybody you meet. It's a direct reflection of yourself, really.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So and why we are focusing our series on self-love, because that's truly where it starts, is loving ourselves. And what does that look like to you? I mean, it looks different to every person, I believe, because we all have different needs. We've all had different experiences in life. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. So, I've gotten myself back on track. Now, it has taken quite, not a long time. I mean, I'd say, a few weeks. Luckily, I learned pretty quickly in the scheme of things. So I have finally reminded myself of that original intention. I feel so much better when I take care of myself first, when I put me first, not when this person can only call at a certain time every day. Well, I'm sorry, I'm using that time every day for myself. And to have the confidence to actually separate, yourself from another individual who happens to be showering you with love and attention and making it even harder to stay in my original intention, right, Cher?
Absolutely. It's the intention that you have with yourself. Don't forget, you got to honor yourself. And I must just stop for a second, because Layla, I have seen your beautiful question, and we'll get to that as soon as we can, sweetheart. All right. So just bear with us while we just have a little bit more of a chat, and then we will try and get to your question as much as we can. All right, because it is in a public forum. So if there's personal questions, it's probably best to be sending that message to us privately. So yes, we did see your question, and we are listening to it. But if it is highly private and intimate, rest assured that Lauren and I won't be answering intimate and private questions in this forum, okay? So because it's a public forum, and it might be something that you just need to hear, my darling. All right. I just had to say that, just because we're here to honour ourselves and we're here to honour you. So yes, darling, we do see your question, and we'll try to get to it as quickly as we can. Sorry, Lauren, I just had to say that. This gorgeous angel's coming in and asking questions.
I mean, I don't know how come I'm not seeing her wonderful questions.
I'll get to it because it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Basically, Layla's asked when she will meet her future husband, and anything unique about him, please, like a birth or month. That is the question that she's asked. So yes, and she's asked it a couple of times, but I just wanted to acknowledge that we did see it, and blessings for that question. And we'll try and answer a little bit of it, but it is quite a personal question, isn't it, Lauren?
So it is. And you know, Cher and I, as psychic mediums, we do have to kind of turn it on, if that makes sense. Yes, we're always connected to spirit. Yes, spirit is always speaking to us. However, when we are working with clients, it's really important that we get into a certain space before we answer such huge and life-changing questions, because we do see it, we do know. But we don't want to just throw out an answer right here, you know, as we're enjoying our girl chat on Saturday afternoon, Friday evening. But we would absolutely love to help you with these questions. Absolutely.
Yeah, Layla, absolutely. So if you want to reach out to us, either, you know, head to our website or something. It is a very private question, and Lauren and I are incredibly ethical about what we do. So because it's such an intimate question, I'd love to answer it, or Lauren would love to answer it. If you just want to head on to our website and either email us or drop us a note or send us, you know, something where we can actually have a private chat about those things, because
Absolutely.
They are incredibly intimate, and they're not for this forum, my darling. So and we have our, you know, from our heart to your heart, this is a highly sensitive subject that you're asking, and yeah, we'd love to hear from you that way. All right, darling. All right.
Yeah, and you know, Layla, we really want you to participate in our conversation about self-love and intentions. And at the beginning of the show, we had asked, what are the intentions that you're setting for yourself? And what are your desires? We want to know what your desires are. They're not the same as ours.
Because the intention is about a relationship, really, and the intention has to come from within you. You know, that question was about you know, an intention to have somebody in your world. So that is a very personal thing, but it's also the relationship that you have with yourself, isn't it? And the intention that you set out. You know, what is that intention within myself? Do I love myself? And, you know, am I in love with myself? Am I of unconditional love? And am I able to share that with somebody else?
Absolutely, yes. And, you know, if we're always thinking externally or thinking that possibly someone or something else might make us feel better, might make us happier. If only I just had a mate, if only I just had a partner, then life would be so much better, right?
Oh, we'd be so much happier, wouldn't we, if we just had that? No, you have to start with yourself. You have to do the hard work on yourself before you can love anybody else. And there's your magic. Once you do that, isn't it, Lauren? It's just
Sure, so beautiful. It's beautiful. Really, it's a beautiful thought, because what comes out of all that hard work is such a loving and amazing relationship with yourself. You know, and I'll give it, you know, one tip that really helped me fall in love with me. That was looking in the mirror directly into my eyes, you know, and saying, I love you, Lauren. You're beautiful, Lauren. You know, you're all, you know, just different. And I have to say, you know, at the very beginning, the first, you know, couple weeks, I was like, this is a joke. I don't believe what's coming out of my mouth. Yeah, right, Lauren. You know, but I have to say, as time went on, and this is the power of affirmations. And, you know, we could spend a whole live talking about affirmations, but
we could, and we may.
Absolutely, we may, because I have so much that I love about those. But what's interesting about affirmations, the I am beautiful, the I am worthy, the I deserve love, is that those are actually intentions.
Absolutely
And
intention.
where our intention and energy flows, that's where the energy will go. So where our intention, where we put our thoughts, the energy will actually go there. And so what are some of the inner dialogues that you guys are having with yourself that you may be having a hard time getting past? Maybe you're having a hard time believing you're worthy to do what you are passionate about.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you're struggling with your weight or food choices or drugs and alcohol even. What, you know, it's important to always be asking yourself, what are my intentions here? And am I really following my path? And I'd like to know what people think about what it feels like to be out of harmony with your intention. What does that feel like? I know what it kind of feels like for me, but I want to hear from our viewers what it feels like to you. It's not always the most comfortable feeling, is it?
It is the most uncomfortable feeling.
And I can actually, oh yeah, yes.
And I'm the same as Lauren. I work the same as Lauren, and I, say this to my clients: stand in front of the mirror and say, I am worthy of unconditional love. I am unconditional love. I send unconditional love out, and therefore I only receive unconditional love. And I say that, and I do that to myself every day. I stand in front of the mirror, and that's an affirmation. So that is going out, and that's the intention, and that is my intention, and that is Lauren's intention for all of this. But with that, what is holding you back, I guess? And we'd love to hear in the chat. And I love Karen. Thank you, Karen. She said self-love is so important. We need to do that in order to love others. Put on your oxygen mask first.
That is such a great analogy.
You wouldn't get out of your plane without, like, if you're free falling out of a plane, you need your oxygen first. You put your oxygen on first, wouldn't you, if there was something going on in a plane? So that's so true. I love that analogy, and thank you, Karen, for dropping that in. That's gorgeous. Love to you. So, but we'd love to hear sort of if there's any underlying, like what you'd like us to address now while we're still in this forum.
Yeah. I can give another example of an intention that I set over and over, and I have to set it over and over again because I fall out of alignment. And I know a lot of people can relate to this, and that is, I set the intention for years over and over and over again to get fit, strong, healthy, to be physically active, because I actually feel better when I am regularly physically active and muscularly stronger. But what will happen is life happens, because I set the intention to move every day. But if I don't start my day with reminding myself of this intention, I will fall off track and not participate in that kind of activity for a while. And then what starts to happen is not just emotional discomfort, but physical discomfort. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you set that intention to be active every day and you're not following through with that. And it goes against self-love. It just goes against it, not to take care of our physical vessel.
100%. And Lauren and I actually had a conversation today, because I was the same as Lauren. We fall off our little bicycle, or we fall off our track, and we lose sight of what our actual intention is. And I must admit, just overnight, with the full goddess bringing all the emotions out, I did have a little bit of a fall off the track myself. And I know that my craving is to get back into my beautiful nature and into waterfalls. And so today I sat, because I have clients today and other things on today, I wasn't able to get to my gorgeous waterfalls, which I love and nourishes me like nothing else. So I just sat with that intention that the waterfall was actually coming over me. Even just sitting in my room here was just that I was just feeling that waterfall, and therefore that raised my vibration and then released what I was feeling, and I dealt with why I was feeling that way. I was going, right, well, you set this intention out, and so here you are, but you fell off a bit off track, but now you're back on track. So,
Wow.
so that's what I did just for me, because I can't physically get to a waterfall. So I just imagined the waterfall running all over me, and that really, and played some music, of course, because music always helps me. I'm very much that way. And looking out into my nature, so that also helped me. So there's different tools we have in place that are able to raise our vibration back out of that.
Well, Cher, that's beautiful. And what I find so interesting is you didn't get stuck on, well, I can't go. I can't get out in nature. I just can't. Well, so therefore, I'm going to say stuck in my, emotional crap, right?
Yeah.
You used your imagination and also used your intention to create your own waterfall. And what's so beautiful is that's all we need. That's all we need is the ability to imagine, the ability to have a clear thought and a clear intention of, I'm going to let this energy, this water just fall all over me, and you don't have to be at the waterfall. So I think that's such a beautiful message, Cher.
It is, because it is just about sitting with that intention and imagining that you're there. And I know that when I sit, and meditation really helps as well. When I sit in meditation, it's just nature all around me. But today, I was just sitting in this chair at my office space, as I call it, or my psychic room, and I was just sitting. I was actually imagining I was sitting on a rock near my waterfall, and then got up and walked under the waterfall and imagined that waterfall running all over me. And it was just the most incredible, amazing thing, and very uplifting, and hence why I'm here tonight.
I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for that. And it's a grounding technique. You don't have to be out in nature to ground, but what you do need to do is have that beautiful, full imagination, and imagine that you are connected to earth through roots coming out of the bottom of your feet, and imagining those roots going down through the layers of earth, down to the magma in the center of the earth. And that is where we will gain so much energy and so much grounding energy, just using our imagination.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes, so
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Colleen.
Sure. I kind of want you to touch a little bit more on the energy of intentions and high vibration, low vibration, what that does, how that affects us.
Well, I feel that when you're in a low vibration, you're actually that sort of makes you feel. It's times when you feel really low, I guess, and a bit depressed, or a bit, just feel a bit heavy. When you're in that lower vibration, you've got this stuff in your head that keeps talking to you, like almost like a negative Nancy. If I was to give her a name, and she's just there chatting away, pulling you down, going, oh, well, Cher, have you, what do you think about that? You're not good enough to do that, or, you chose this particular thing to do, and no, you're not good enough. And so it's that constant chatter in your head. So it's a way of, they bring you right down, and you're feeling sick, and you might be quite upset, crying, like I've been. We are human, and it brings you right down, and your vibration then therefore drops down. And therefore what then happens, that I've found energetically, is that you're attracting different people in your realm that are also of that low vibration. And it's often, I do feel also in that there could be a fear or something, Lauren. Do you agree with that? It could be something that you deeply fear, that it's highlighted within that as well. And that's what I feel with low vibrations. It goes out. It's all energy. It goes out. So when you're feeling sick, it's going to go out as well. When you're in a higher vibration, you feel on top of the world. You feel amazing. I can accomplish anything and everything. And that's about self-love and raising that up. So if you need to get back to when you're feeling all, I'm going to say, I nearly swore then, I nearly said the S word. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on this forum, but when you're feeling like, I'm going to say it, Lauren, shit, when you're feeling a bit shitty and a bit yucky, for me, what I do is I go into nature. I give myself a bit of self-love. I'll go for a run, or I'll get myself into nature and heal myself that way. And that or put some music on for yourself. It could be just even putting music on in your home, just something for you. And that raises your vibration, and then you're not feeling so crap. When you're in the higher vibration, let me tell you, you're the sexiest person on the bloody planet.
Okay.
And for there is the power. There is your power when you're in that positive energy and you're feeling fantastic. That's the power of you, and that's the magic of you, and we all do it. And it's just like a flow, isn't it, Lauren? That's my take on that, darling, unless you want to.
Thank you.
I'm sure you can add more on that energy.
Well, just that it's up to us individuals to decide and to actually understand on an innate, deep physical level, what does that low vibration feel like? What does that higher vibration feel like? And then you get to decide. That's the beautiful magic, is that we make choices every second of every day. And that's this beautiful free will universe, is we have the free will to do whatever the heck we want to do. But what I have found through my lifetime is that you're right. Operating or behaving out of an innate fear, a base fear inside. And what I found interesting is I didn't know truly what those fears were until I noticed the behavior happening. So it was my behavior, especially repeated behavior over and over again, that showed me, oh, do I have a fear of something here? Am I doing something to even prevent myself from feeling that feeling or fear? And is that fear even real? And it's not. Unfortunately, these are stories that we have told ourselves, usually in childhood after something traumatic, and it could be the littlest thing, someone, stepped on your foot, in kindergarten or something. And now, so it's, this is what happens, through our life. And as we become more aware, because I feel like our viewers and us especially, our clients, everyone is on a journey of bettering themselves, wanting to heal, their own trauma, often even heal collective trauma that has collected in an individual. I know that for me, when this coronavirus came out and it was all over the news, that's all I did was watch the news constantly, like having to stay glued to this new pandemic and, all that was going on. And as I was drowning out my own thoughts, I was getting more and more lost. I was not making choices in my everyday life. I was more comfortable not making decisions and just letting life happen. But again, it was that awareness of the uncomfortability in my physical being that told me, and also my connection to spirit speaking loudly in my ears, that I can't avoid it. You guys stop.
I know they're like.
I don't need a spirit telling me what to do. Thank you very much. I don't need, my parents, my friends, no one telling me what to do. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. And frankly, I have. And it's not always turned out the greatest. But what it has turned out is learning lessons and blessings.
The blessings in the lessons, Lauren, the blessings in the lesson. And we've all done that. We've all, because we do work for spirit. Well, it's not really working, but they're always with us and guiding us, I believe. And even though they were in your ear and you didn't want to listen, you still did your own thing. And I've done that myself. We're free-spirited. We are just so free spirits. Don't forget, we're actually spirit in the human body. So, we're just spirit. So we're so free-willed to do, and yes, we make choices that sometimes have been beautiful lessons to us and created the magic of us now. But yes, we are a free will and we can't be held down, and we do whatever I nearly swore again, God, here we go. Do whatever the bloody hell we want to do, and that's the way we should live our life. We should be able to live our life with what we want to do and not be constrained by or conformed to whoever thinks you are that way or wants you in a particular way, because you're not truly being honest to your spirit, and you will get booted up the bum by the universe, and you will get a right old kick from the universe. It could be a physical thing or it could be an emotional thing, but there'll be a trigger for you when you're not honoring your path. And I know that I see clients all the time that come to me for the big boot up the bum, but that's beautiful, because in that boot up the bum, they see the absolute magic and the essence of them. And I know you do too, Lauren, like you do too. We all get off our path sometimes, and sometimes it's held in a whisper, then the whisper gets louder and then louder until it becomes a shout. So yeah, we're all the same. We're just spirit, and we're just free to do what we want to do, and I certainly do, and I know you do, Lauren. So, and I know
yes, absolutely.
And life's too short. Lauren and I talk to the dead, and let me tell you out there, people, life's too short. So live it like there's no tomorrow, because that's how Lauren and I do it.
That is very true. Yes, yeah. You can overthink your life. Am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decisions? Oh God, here I go again, doing this, off my path. Here I am again, back on my path. And then saying, God, I can't keep a path. I can't keep a path, but loving yourself through that, loving like, that's who I am. I bounce all over the place. One day I'm over here wanting this thing, and the next day I'm over here wanting this thing. And instead of getting down on myself or upset, why can't I just stick to one thing, or, not let my ADD run rampant on myself every day? How do we stay with our original intention and our self-love?
Yeah, and that is the magic of you. Yes.
Yes.
You're like that, but I too am like that. I'll go, over here. Oh, what's that over there? I'll just go and have a look at that over there. But that is the magic of us as well. We ain't going to change for no one. We're staying who we are. We're staying true to ourselves. And for there is our magic, and that's our love of ourselves. Because stuff what anybody else thinks, Lauren,
that is so true. We are individuals, and we are damn proud of who we are. I'm damn proud, And what's interesting is, as I've gone through a spiritual development process, I'd say enlightenment process over the last 3-4 years, possibly, I experienced the loss of a couple long lifetime friends that were like, I can't, we're not on the same page. I can't handle you or the way you are. And I thought, oh, wow, there's something wrong with me. If these people, my good friends from a lifetime, all of a sudden don't want anything to do with me, well, boy, I must be doing something wrong. And I was really down on myself for quite a while. Like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, guess what? I didn't do anything wrong. What was happening was my vibration was rising higher and higher and higher. And those people in my life were staying here as I was going up like this. And it's just a natural thing for these people in our lives that we may have had quite an attachment to for quite a long time. It's only natural that they fall off of us and they don't want anything to do with us. And it has taken me a year or so to realize this was a blessing, not a curse. It was a blessing that these people wanted to leave my life. And I'm forever grateful for it, and I forever will wish them well, love and light, only positive and happiness, and I can hope one day that we'll connect again, on a different level, on a different plane.
Yeah, well, I'm the same as you, Lauren, too, because I've had friends in the past that really good, close friends that have also done the same, that I started this spiritual journey, and the more I raised my vibration and honoured my spiritual path and it became more of me, the more they didn't like it and then were arcing up. And so, and then they fall away, and then you start to question going, oh crap, what did I do wrong? And then you start to self-analyze yourself and start going, gosh, what did I do wrong here?
I must be a horrible person.
I must be a dreadful person to not because you were with me all the time, and now you're not. Like what? But then you start to realize that is actually the blessing, because you're honouring your path. You're standing in your truth. And then I looked at myself and I went, no, hang on a minute. I'm bloody standing in my truth here. I know the power of me. I know that I'm doing what I want to do, what I'm so passionate about. And if you don't like that, then I'm sorry, you're not in my circle anymore. But thank you and bless you for showing those things within me that made me question why I felt I wasn't good enough. And
yes.
For that is the blessing for making me feel that way, because and I only send the friends that I've had in my realm all of my love from my unconditional heart to them, and to anybody that has been even in a relationship with me, because they've taught me things about myself. And for there is the lesson, and that is my absolute blessing, and that's my absolute gift, and I can't thank them from my heart and from my love space enough for showing me those beautiful lessons, that things that taught me that I didn't even know damn well existed until I found them. It hit me on the head and it went boom, crash opera, and here it is in every way, shape and form. So I actually love them with all of my heart, and am very honoured and blessed that they came in my realm for the time that they am, and hopefully maybe might come back again should the universal spirit bring them back. Because from my unconditional love, I do love that, and I love them, and I send them unconditional love always, and the love and light too, Lauren, because that's where we work from, and we are harm none. But yes, that's so true, Lauren, so beautifully said.
We're not perfect people. We can overreact. We can say things that we regret, but one thing that we always do is honor that, meaning take responsibility for where we may have gone wrong, where we may have gone off path, and take responsibility. And then it's up to that other individual whether they want to accept, our apology, or accept the fact that we take full responsibility for our behavior, and just come from an authentic place. And what I have found, with losing certain people in my life, is that the more clear I got about myself and who I am, the more they got afraid, and they didn't. And it's just because we're at different parts of our journey. But being someone who is always wanting to develop and improve and be a better person, it's difficult when you're around someone who's just okay with being down here on this level, right? And so the beautiful thing that came out of that, losing people, was that it opened space. It opened space for me to make new friends. And the new friends that I have made has been nothing short of amazing. And I feel like, where have these people been my whole life? Like I was almost feel like, wasting time with lower vibrational, people. But that, like you said, is the blessing and is the lesson that you learn from that. You learn, well, maybe I don't like being around certain people, and what am I going to do about that? And Debbie just commented that she really needed to hear this evening, and that touches my heart, because that's why we are doing our lives.
That's why we're becoming, yeah, I know, I saw her message come in and I touched my heart. I don't know if you saw it, but I touched my heart when Debbie put that message up. And this is why we're coming on, to be raw, really, and to show our human side. Yes, we are psychic mediums and we have our magic, but we're coming on because we're also on this human plane. And really that message you did, you know, we love to hear that, and that, to think that Lauren and I have reached out in some way, that you needed to hear this, that this message tonight is just like from our unconditional love hearts to you, Debbie, and to anybody else that's listening. You know, this is why we do what we do, and this is why we're coming on being raw about ourselves, because you need to see us for who we really are, and that touches our heart, you know, makes me want to cry. So thank you very much for saying that. That's blessing. And hey, Bridget, thanks for coming in, gorgeous girl. That's my gorgeous girlfriend.
Hi. Hello there. Yeah, that was beautifully said, Cher. And frankly, I do have spirit here with me right now, and what they're confirming that, you know, this is the message of self-love, and putting that work in on ourselves is what this world needs. The world needs more self-actuated, aware individuals. And why is that? So that we can make healthier choices, and the more healthier choices we make, the better our community, the better our world, the better our earth. And so Cher and I just not only love sharing messages of hope, sharing messages from your loved ones in spirit, but also encouraging you to really take that look deep inside, because that is where the magic and the work is.
Yeah, it works from the inside. And I feel like Lauren and I have had spirit with us this whole session, because, and in fact, Lauren and I have spirit all the time, so we're very blessed and honoured. We don't always say it. But
are you sure that's the blessing? I mean, because I was in my bathtub last night, and there was some spirit in my bathroom, so I felt a little exposed. I said, I'm not sure I'm ready for this conversation right now. Can we table this for later?
Yes, they do follow us everywhere. Believe me, you know. Like Lauren sent me a message in the middle of the night going, "Sure, I think I've got a spirit in the bathroom," and I said, "That's all right, darling. Just keep talking. Just keep talking." Like we're our friends, and we do say to them if they do come in and see us in our nature, they do say, "We'll be with you in a moment." You know, I don't know if you want to see me as this, but. Bless them, yeah. So Lauren.
Oh yeah, yes.
And we're so blessed to have them with us, Lauren, aren't we? Like, we live in such spiritual homes, and it's a gift. It's an absolute gift to have the spirit around us, and they have been with both Lauren and I most of this evening and most of this afternoon, so that we can bring this beautiful message of love, because that's all they want, really. And don't forget, we are spirit, and when we go home and we leave this physical body, and let me tell you, Lauren and I talk to the dead all the time and talk to spirit all the time. The main thing that they come back and say to their loved ones and to that are left here on this plane is all about love, all about self-love. Isn't it, Lauren? That's
oh my gosh, it's all about expressing that love, that. And what's amazing is when you're able to connect individuals with their deceased loved ones who may have been extremely rigid in lifetime, and in their lifetime, and may not have expressed love to their children or to their grandchildren, may have been abusive, who knows what. But what's amazing is these souls on the other side recognize and see the love that was there the entire time. And often it takes passing into the other realm for that soul to then see, oh, I see where I went wrong, and I'm sorry. They often say, I'm sorry.
Yes, they do. Yeah, there's often if there's been abuse or they haven't had that relationship with them on this plane, that when they do, because spirit goes through the healing process. So when they do pass to spirit and they come to us, and as the medium, how blessed we are to be able to give that message to that loved one that's sitting here and may have been feeling guilty. Oh crap, what did I do? Why did I say that to whoever? But don't worry, because spirit can be quite funny, and they're saying, oh crap, why did I say that? Because I didn't really mean it at that time. I meant to say this. I meant to tell you how much I love you and how gorgeous you are, but it came out as another crappy way that I kind of said it. And so I've now come back to tell you the truth, really. I'm standing in my truth on the other side. So I'm let's rumble, right? Someone comes in and they're quite funny and they say, okay, let's rumble. We're ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm so happy to be here. What Spirit will say. Yeah, it's my opportunity to talk. Go, go, go.
Now I have the whole scene. You can listen to me.
Yeah.
Fantastic. They come in funny ways, and it's fantastic. It's awesome. Love it. Love it.
They do, Cher. It's been a pleasure chatting with you again tonight.
Pleasure too, my darling.
And I keep getting cat hair. I think my apartment is like full of cat hair just floating around, and it keeps landing on my face. So,
darling, it's the same as mine. See, the love of our animals. Both our homes have magical animals in them. Lauren's got her magical animals. I've got a cat, of course, because that's self-love too, and the love of them. So it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing. So it is another lovely evening for us. For those of you here in Australia, don't forget the goddess is out, and all of us need to get out in it, regardless whether you're a witch or not. Get out into the full moon tonight and celebrate. Well,
you recommend a certain way to get out into the full moon. I think everyone deserves to know how you really feel.
If anybody want to go to Lauren's website, laurenapplewood.com, she's a naughty girl because I told her something prior to coming on air, and she obviously wants me to share. But as a witch, regardless whether you're Wicca or not, the best thing to do for us witches, and what I do is, yes, I go out into the full moon and stand naked under the full moon to get the rays and the healing from our beautiful goddess. Thank heavens Cher does not have any neighbors around her.
No kidding. But I'm sure they would love to join in on that show. But I mean, when you said that, I found that quite interesting. I'm like, sure, I'll go stand out naked. And then I'm like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go to do this? Because I personally live in a very urban city. But luckily here in the Pacific Northwest, we have quite a few, places where we can just a short drive away, and we're up in the mountains or on the beach.
You can even set that intention, Lauren. Don't forget what we were talking about. So you could actually set that intention and just stand in the moonlight. But imagine that you are actually standing in the moonlight naked. You don't have to be actually naked. And don't forget, everybody that are the witches, put all your crystals, your talismans, and everything else you use out tonight into the goddess if you're here in Australia. Lozzie, when you're over there in America tomorrow, expect your crystals and everything you got out into the full moon for that beautiful clearing, because don't forget they need it as well. Your crystals and your everything you use. I even put my manifestation books out into the full moon.
Oh, okay. Wow. And then I also have heard of moon water or something.
Yes, there's moon water. You can create moon water as well. It's a very beautiful thing. There's so many things we could spend a whole witchy time on the goddess when she's in full, which we may do in time, Lauren. We may do.
Oh, absolutely. I know people would love to hear what our rituals are, what we do around the full moon. I know I have a whole ritual around it, and it has served me quite well this last year. So I just love your advice, Cher. I may have to imagine being naked out in the moonlight.
Yes, but certainly put everything else out there. And I'll be interested in that tomorrow night, Lauren. I'll be contacting you.
I might even take some pictures. You never know. Right, picture or it didn't happen.
No, I don't. We'll see what happens. But certainly the intention's there. Well, here we are. So this is wrapping it up, isn't it, darling heart?
It's time.
Yeah, it's time. And lovely. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in and saying hello and putting your messages in. We've truly loved this evening. And
thank you, Debbie.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing what you've shared with us this evening. We're really blessed, we're humbled, and so honoured to be able to do this. So thank you very much. If you want to come over to our websites, I'm SherSlaterMeeting.com and Lauren is LaurenApplewood.com. Look us up, make a book if you like, or send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. All right, much love.
Enjoy the full moon, everyone. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Blessed be. Bye. See you next week.
Bye.